What is up, everybody? How we doing? How is everybody? We got Abracadaniel. Of course, she's here because she's right there. Commander Bear, what's up? I love chuletas. One Drunk Man. Spread the Germs. And Gondo. Always fun to see Gondo here. I hope you guys can hear me, because now I'm sitting here like, oh shit, I wonder if they can actually hear me. So how's everyone going? How's everyone doing? That's a weird way of saying how's everybody going. That's just me not being able to talk. So if you want to listen to me not be able to talk for the next 2 hours, have fun. Heck yeah. Iwanu, what's up, dude? Or hello, person. I don't want to discriminate. This is just, we're already stumbling over our words. Not a good sign. So I'm gonna brighten this up. Other way. There we go. So, how we doing? Megatron Prime. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna try. That's another thing. That's like on my thing. I didn't really have like crazy New Year's resolutions. It's not really. Resolutions are tough because it's like you gotta set small goals, right? I'm gonna try and do better about followers. Me talk right. Exactly. I'm going to try and do better about followers because I'm pretty bad about like calling out followers. Sometimes it's difficult when like 12 people follow in a row. Brez, thank you for the 1 month sub at 17 months. That's insane. 17 months. Crazy. Thank you, Brez. We out here today. It's a fun build. This morning, I'm not like tech savvy or anything. I mean, to an extent, but not like this. I really wanted to find a picture of me when I was like 14 and then do like the Pokemon old school, like, whoa, Chewy is evolving. Alansky, what's up, man? And then do that for this because we're building an Evolv today. This thing is awesome. I can't wait to build it. Nathan Alphaman will be joining us via voice chat here in a little bit. And sorry for no mechs on deck this week. I messaged Osiris after working all day Sunday to get the U.S. orders of the Squid 60 group buy out. I was like, I am spent. I am working. I already work a full-time job, and mechs on deck is kind of like the part-time job to it. And then this was like the part-time job, and I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm so exhausted. I need like a break. My last Saturday we did a stream, and it was my birthday. It was a great day, but we didn't do any like chores or anything. We didn't get anything done. I think I spent like 5 minutes on the Squid 60 group buy, and then Sunday it was like full speed ahead. We were like, let's get all the blackboards. Let's get all the blackboards done. So we do all that, and we're like, for those wondering, it was about, I think it was like a 2-to-1 gray boards to blackboards. And we were like, let's do like, so there's like 20 blackboards, I think, ish. And I was like, let's do like 20 gray. Well, that was fine. Let's do another 20. And then we were like, we only have like 20 more. Let's just go ahead and knock that out too. And then we got done with that. We're like, why don't we just go ahead and pack everything? So it was like 7 o'clock. We hadn't done anything. The apartment was destroyed. And then we decided to make a very difficult and time-consuming dinner because we're smart like that. Bao buns, by the way. Bao buns are delish. And so my wife is like finishing up dinner, or like working on dinner, and I'm trying to like make our apartment livable again. And like we didn't meal prep, we didn't breakfast prep, we didn't do anything. This week was just a shit show of trying to figure out breakfasts and coffee and all that stuff. It was a tough week. We got all the boards out Tuesday, and I remember coming home and just being like, oh, and I was like, I'm so glad. And that was like, come home, and we had to be at the post office by 4:30, and I got off at 3:30, and Bao Bun's still absolutely worth it. It was go, 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 go. the second we got home, and then I just like took a 30-minute hot shower and was just like, I need a minute. And then, you know, I'll get more into the Squid 60. Let's talk about the Evolv. I heard hot shower. Hell yeah, dude. That kind of stream. No, I was just talking about my well-deserved but intense hot shower on Tuesday after dropping off the Squid 60s. Let's talk about the Evolv. The Evolv is a board that many of us were like, this is fucking bullshit. This is not going to happen. Like, even Osiris and I saw it and we're like, this is, yeah, fuck that. It's going to be a $9,000 board. And we were like, show proof of concept. And Nathan Alphaman, as awesome as he is, who's in chat, by the way. Hello, Nathan. He was like, and thank you for the sub, Nathan Alphaman. Nathan Alphaman was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, I'm going to have to fucking prove this. And he was like, yeah, but it can take a lot of pressure. And I was like, all right, dude, fucking let's prove it. Let's drive over it with a car. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm not going to drive over this one. This is not mine. This is for a customer. So we have to, like, not drive over it with a motor vehicle. But then it changed, you know, he went through designs and it changed, and I appreciate that. And a lot of people, you know, I remember when some people, Alhex, thank you, thanks for the frames. They're called, my wife calls them the specs on deck. So it, you know, it evolved. So it changed, and it kind of, he was like, hey, this is how we're doing things now. This is what we're doing. So he ran, I guess, like a little proto buy, and these are all polycarb. They're fantastic. They look great. I opened it up last night. And let's show it off. Okay. For those wondering, this is the bumper by Zap. It's a fantastic board. Sounds amazing. The suspense. What do we show off first? Because there's like so many cool things to this build. It's insane. So let's show off the body first. Ooh. Carbon fiber plate. I'm not the biggest fan of carbon fiber. This isn't my board. So I love how everything's separated. It's got its own little section. It's got the knob, you know, the high quality knob. Everybody needs a knob these days. If there's anything about this board I'm not a huge fan of, I don't personally care for knobs, but regardless, yeah, show us the ass. I know why everyone's here. Come on. So you know what? Who is that? Perforated binder paper. I'm going to show off the ass at the end now. I'm totally kidding. I'll show it off right now. Boom. So there's no weight in it right now. I'll show the weight in a second. I wanted to put the weight in last. 60% Evolv win. God, don't do that to my heart. I'll put the weight in, but you know, we've got these little venom looking, I'm going to call them tendrils. That's not at all what they are, but that's just what I'm going to call them. Center mounted USB. Personally, not the biggest fan of center mounted, but it's clean. It's the way. So there's the side profile. It's in polycarb. I'm sure this thing is going to sound amazing. So there is that. Like I said, carbon fiber plate. We'll show off. I haven't peeled this, but I wanted that like ASMR peel. Ooh, look at that guy. Look at that handsome fella. This is hold up. I've been away for too long. Where's that mat from? This is a prototype of the Zyko mat. We're having to get a second one because the alignment was off. So soon. So this is stainless steel, polished, and it says "Keep evolving." There's a little stuff right here. I'm gonna clean that, but it's also on the inside. So, Dutch Master, what's up? Very, very clean. I wanted to get that this is gonna be the last thing we do before putting caps on. RGB in the mat. So very, very cool. We'll definitely add some heft to the board as well. And then arguably the coolest little part. This fucking thing is insane. Look at this bad boy. Like, hold on. Let me get rid of me. It did pass the QC1 test. So fantastic. I expect nothing less than from Gondo. Evolv PCB. So let's zoom in. Evolv PCB. Rev pre-alpha designed by Gondolidrium for Nathan. I want one now. We've seen that on the Austin. Oh, I just tilted my camera. Hooray. So Gondo is a fantastic PCB designer. I'll come back here. I love all the extra bits. We got a nice button to reset RGBs. If I wanted anything, it would be, you know, it is a fixed plate, so it doesn't really need it too much on the bottom row. I do love so we got step caps versus not. We have some labeling over here, and I do appreciate that. I wouldn't mind the bottom row, but I don't also know what the plate in the bottom row is. So this PCB, fantastic. Excited to build it because it's Gondo. I know it's going to go smooth. And then what are we building with today? Xylants. Personally, not a huge fan of Xylants, but they're incredibly tactile. I like to hear my boards. Lube 3203. I only destroyed one Xylant in the process. So, but Aqua Xylants, 67 grams, 3203, double smooth. Rick Clack, thank you for the 17 months. Couple 17 months today. So it'll feel really good. It probably won't sound as insane as maybe like a Holy Panda or something like that. But I mean, they're not meant to sound like anything. So that is this. We're going to unscrew this, snag the plate. And, or do we unscrew this? I don't even see the screws. I guess we unscrew it from there. This is an interesting, I haven't like opened this, so we're going full send. Yeah, I guess you unscrew from, I guess for a seamless design in the top. Putting silence on poly. You know, like I said, this is not my build. 7 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I assume it's those. I personally, like I said, I personally wouldn't choose it, but to each their own. It is not my place to judge other people's preference unless it's the preference of Moon. But let me find the right God, how awkward it would be if I like couldn't unscrew this. I'm like, all right, guys, good build. Have a good one. I think we found it. All right. Torques. Got them torques. That Natch set is so G, it is. I love it. I have yet to run into something that needed... that I did not need from this. I need to get one of those magnetic bowls. So Piccolo God, what's up? Thank you for the follow. How's everyone doing? I've got lots of stories. I've got so many stories I literally wrote on a sticky note that is like right behind my watch. Of all the shit that's gone down the last week. So, yep. Let's see who else is here. The Kevin Malone. What's up? I hope you're eating some chili. Better now that I'm seeing this being built. Hell yeah, dude. All right, we're just dropping screws left and right, but that's okay. Howdy, what's up, Disco? In our big foot, I think Nathan said the weight might need a Torx head that isn't in the Natch set. Well, that'll be fun. Sounds like we're going to get something and a rubber band and just plow that thing in it. Chewy, I have it. Well, Rick, I might need you. We'll test that here in just a second because I might need an assist. So there it is. There's the gasket. I appreciate the gasket being pre-installed. We're not going to mess with that too much. We got gaskets on this side, so it's like sticky. I really like when they're pre-installed. You have to come by anyway. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So let's put that back. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to... So it comes with the boxing. I don't know if this is like production boxing, but he went in the similar situation that I did where I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, we're just... First, we actually are going to put these bump-ons on. Props. Extra bump-ons. We got 8. Well done. Well done. I know it's a little bit small of a run. Anytime you send extra stuff, like if you're thinking about running a group buy, send extra bump-ons. I mean, you already have to buy like 800 when you're doing it. Send extra bump-ons. Send a couple screws. Like all that stuff is fantastic to have, because what sucks is you'd have to someone, if you buy someone also, is that Tib the Princess and Super Tactile, thank you for the follows, but bump on specifically, right? Like screws you can get away with because you might be able to just go to the hardware store. Bump-ons are a little bit harder because you have to buy so many. So extra bump-ons, huge plus. I made sure to send them in the Squid 60 buy. So this is quite the large. Yeah, we're good. This will fit. We're good. Oops, wasn't following for some reason. No worry, dude. Trolling cootie. No worries. So this Nanch set does actually work. It's a little loose, so I wouldn't like grind the shit out of it. I've also never installed one of these, so that'll be fun. Ooh. I like that. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, we'll put that knob off to the side so I can stop playing with a knob. So, clicky clacky, absolutely. Panda Man Pete, what's up, dude? Ha, not fully silent. Got him, absolutely. Alright. So, we've got our plate, we've got our PCB. It's time to lube some stabs. I assume I have to solder in this thing, but I imagine if I can solder a keyboard, I probably can solder that. But you know what's great is assuming things, because when you assume things, nothing ever goes wrong. Is it a joystick knob? Like, can you... Oh, shit. All right, well, that confirms that I'm buying an Evolv. Yeah, the silk screen on this PCB is insane. So, looks like we've got, these are some Zeal stabs. So we will have to be a little careful to avoid any pop-outs. We're doing 2U backspace. So let's see, 2, 4, 6. Is it just enough? I think it's just, nope. So we've got shift, enter, backspace, space bar. So, is that 8 plus 8? Because math. 8, and we need 4 bars. 6.25. The plate is a, for the most part, it is not integrated, but fixed. So we've got caps lock and backspace as our only 2 options. I love that. If you guys got in on the Squid, you know I love that. So, let's see. Is there any group buy for this anytime soon? It should be soon. That's a Nathan. We'll have Nathan on to chat here in a little bit. And we can ask about that. Is it weird that the silk isn't on the bottom where you see through the poly? Is there a reason for that? I have no idea. Maybe because I think this might be distracting on the bottom, where this is a little bit cleaner. But it would be cool if this was white. If the whole thing was white, I feel like a PCB, a polycarb with white would reflect all of that LED light even more, and it'd be more intense. So I think that would be cool. That's just a suggestion. So let's get these out of the way. We're gonna lube. We're gonna lube with 205 grade 0 because that is kind of the standard. I have fallen in love with 206 grade 2 for my stabs, but I'm not. This is also a lighter spring at 67 grams, so it might be a little bit more difficult to accurately get it to reset. What is everyone doing? I know some of you might have a 3-day weekend. I have a 3-day weekend. In recognition and what's the word I'm looking for? Not recognition. I mean, just recognizing the awesomeness that is MLK. And I feel like, I'm not going to go too much further into the political talk, but this year more than ever, I feel like it's important that we recognize him. Anyway, moving on. So what are you guys doing keyboards this weekend? Who's building a Squid 60? If you got one, I know a couple. I've seen a few people in here. I'll talk more about that while we're lubing before we get back into the Evolv. Working right now, unfortunately. I'm sorry, bud. But, somehow, you got to afford keyboards somehow. What's your lube of choice for Zycos? I do. 3203 only on the housing. I do not touch the stem. Zycos are plenty smooth because the Zelio bottom is already really, really smooth. It doesn't need both, in my opinion. Saves on lube, saves on time. I do lube my springs with, I think it's like GPL 105, and I just throw in some 3203, and it's just in this like plastic container. There's no like, this is how much of whatever. I just throw that shit in there, and I just dump some GPL 105, and I just throw some 3203. Sometimes I throw 205, sometimes I throw 3204. I just throw whatever's in there and shake that shit up. There is no... I am not an expert on lubing springs. And I don't typically lube springs like crazy amounts. But if people ask, I'll do it. On this one, I did add a little bit. I just add, it's kind of a light coating. Just, it helps the sound. It helps prevent sound. And obviously this is a Xylent build, so we're not trying to make thocky noises over here. So, but pretty cool. I'm really excited. He sent, so for those who don't know, who spread the germs, he is a fantastic artisan maker. And this is actually for him. And he sent some really cool artisans that are themed with a set that is one of my favorite sets. I will reveal what set that is at the end, but I think this is going to be a really cool looking build, even with the switches. So, got that lubed. We're going to place these bad boys and do a quick double check, make sure that is backwards. Oh man, this is just bringing me flashbacks to Keeb Noob. I don't know if you're in the chat right now, but the Zeal stabs, man, brings me back. brings me back. So, got that. We're going to place these in, make sure they're all correctly aligned. But no, I got the US orders out. I've been panic checking. First and foremost, there is a website called Pirate Ship. It allows you to do mass shipping for, you know, if you have a crap ton of stuff to ship, instead of having to go through and type every single order or copy paste every single order, and it just drives you insane, and would probably never make me want to do a group buy again. This, you can kind of just import it from an Excel spreadsheet or Google sheet. I took all of the information, like whenever we were doing the group buy, I took all the shipping information, as I made US orders pay for shipping at the beginning. And it was super easy to just go boom, boom, on print 60 labels, whatever. And so it was super nice because also if you added in their email, it would email them saying like, hey, you're going. But it used my real name, which I won't say. And please, if you know it, I mean, my first name's Dave, but it sent my first and last name to everybody. It sent like, this person from Pirate Ship is shipping you something. And that freaked some people out. A lot of people were like, yo, this is a phishing email. What the hell? And I got PMs like all day that was like, bro, like, is this you? Are you like, what's going on? Because Blind Assassin was my partner through all of this, and he's the one that did the invoices. So he's like, why is someone who's not Blind Assassin sending these emails? I'm like, hey, that's me. I promise. I'm really sorry, because Pirate Ship also sounds like a sketchy as fuck. Internet went out. Shaking my head. Sorry, shaking my head in my head. And so I'm like trying to, you know, extinguish some fires because people are like, what's going on? What's going on? And I don't know how. I've never used Pirate Ship before. I had both Blind Assassin and a couple other people were like, hey, check it out. It'll really help with like shipping, and you won't go crazy. You just double check. And I'm sure there's a way you can like edit the email that goes out. I am absolutely sure, but I didn't know that. And so everyone's just getting these random ass emails, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I try and be, you know, I've been a part of some bad group buys, of some boards that should have, you know, that took too long, or boards that 100% never showed up, and, you know, boards where the communication was terrible. You know, there was delays, but they didn't want to say delays, and I think mine delayed about a month, but I have done everything that I possibly can to prevent anyone from having to ask the question, where's the board? Or did the person run away with my money? And I'm like, fuck that. It's super easy. Like, I'll probably rant about this on Tuesday. It is not difficult. I have a lot of anxiety. I deal with anxiety and depression. It is not difficult to send a message that says, the only news that I have right now is that I have no news. I'm sorry, but I'm still here. I'm still thinking about it. And I didn't run away with your money. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Just resetting the clock. I worked in retail. People said it's very important to reset the clock. I told people up front, we're not even going to worry about this for like 2 months, because it's going to take longer than 2 months to make. So don't even worry about asking me, because I'm not going to know anything for at minimum 2 months. Minimum. And so at the 2 month marker, I was like, hey guys, it's been 2 months. Haven't really heard anything, but I'm not really concerned. Like, it's taking time. About a week later, I got a formal update. They were like, they're finished machining. We're about to start anodizing. Pass that information along. Hey guys. And it's just easy. It's like, to me, it was a lot easier to just say, hey, this is what's going on, rather than people panic and go, oh shit, I just won't say anything. So, I don't want to slam other people. You guys know who the bad group buy runners are. I'm not trying to say, but it's really not that hard to just be like, hey guys, and it's, I will appreciate if someone says, I don't have anything for you right now, but I'm not running away with your money. That to me is like, oh, at least, okay, I'm not worried about this being another I will trash the Lumina group buy, because that was straight up a take your money and run. That is a $380 loss that I took 2 years ago. So, I know some people just run away with their money. It sucks. It happens. But I wasn't trying to tell anybody. I never even saw the money. I wasn't the one that invoiced you. So, good guy. It's not, it sucks that I shouldn't be called a good guy. I should just be called normal guy. Because that should just be the norm. But I got a very nice compliment from someone that said, hey, this is my first group buy, and I couldn't imagine it going any better. And I was like, thank you. That means a lot, because my first group buy, my first big keyboard group buy, was the M0110. And for those who don't know, I did not receive that board for 2 years. I did not. I ordered that board in June of 2018. It was the end of June of 2018. I built that board the summer of, it was like July. Yeah, it was July or August, one of those 2 months. July or August of 2020. I waited 2 years. Boards were supposed to go out over Thanksgiving. And the week before Thanksgiving, he says, we're not even close to being done. Did you already build the Evolv? No, I am currently lubing the stabs for the Evolv. Sid with Bliss. So I've been a part of bad group buys with bad communication. And I've been a part of group buys that went perfect. Everything was delivered on time, but no one ever said anything. Which was like one of the weirder things, is like it just showed up and I was like, what the fuck? Like I was kind of waiting, because then I wanted to like order some switches and be ready. Remind me what board is above you. This is the bumper. It's got like bumpers from like a pinball machine. This is the bumper by Zap Cables. There is a Zap cable right there. This is a good time to say we have some awesome sponsors and partners. First, our sponsors, Omnitype. Someone's panicking outside, sorry. Omnitype, they're going to be up and running 100% very soon this month, so be sure to take a look at that. We've also got Canon Keys. So Canon Keys, I'm gonna butcher the name of this. I think it's Shanshui. So we got GMK Shanshui, a great looking set. Cat Crusader, a Geek Arc, PVT Lancelot, some awesome desk mats from Crusader and Shanshui. Also Honeywell Bold from Canon Keys. And my dog is upset. I think we've got some Amazon stuff coming, and God forbid that someone drops something off at our door. He's a Chihuahua, so he's a great guard dog. Anyway, back to, we've got Project Keyboards. You can go to mexondeck.project.link. GMK Stealth just is either wrapping up today or it wrapped up yesterday. I think it's still going. Yeah, GMK Stealth. So just clicking through to make sure you can still get in on it. My apologies. So yeah, you can pre-order still GMK Stealth. It's a fantastic looking set. It's got that real cool like kind of stealth theme to it, hence the name Stealth. And then we've also got Zap Cables. He does the best cables. He's one of our partners. He made the bumper. He's got awesome desk mats, cable kits. You can buy the kits. Sometimes he'll make batches of pre-made cables. We've got Smith & Rune, the Iron 165, Iron 180, both fantastic boards. Iron 180 extras will be out whenever the Iron 180 ship, so probably in the next couple months. We'll keep you updated on that. And then lastly, we have Type Beast, go to typebea.st, and that will, let me go ahead and throw partners in here. That will lead you to an amazing newsletter. I read it every single time it comes out, almost immediately. And I missed a few follows. Poppy and Cast, Plouk Touch, That's My Q, Sag React. I'm sorry if I'm, and Vesperage. Thank you guys for the follows. Wonder if the weird flex would work to look good on that bumper. Maybe. Didn't know the bumper came in polycarb. So the second run they did, or I guess the first official run, was all in polycarb. This thing sounds insane, by the way, because it's just a chunk of polycarb. So back to Lubing. Back to Chorin. Bumper. So dude, the bumper, it's kind of like, and I put 89 gram blueberries in this. I've been loving this. I've been absolutely loving this board. This build was so much fun to do. It was on my birthday. You know, I bought the board because it's awesome. It's a 60%, and it was done by a very good friend who completely understands why I'm streaming at noon. I will explain that in just a moment. But he bought both the squid and the baka. And I was like, I can't not buy his board. He's bought two of mine. I gotta at least buy one of his. So great board. Peaches and Cream looks great on polycarb. Rinsuya still, I mean, I know Peaches and Cream is a hot button issue, or at least it used to be. You can look at some of our clips and you'll see what I actually think about that. But I love Peaches and Cream, and it looks fantastic on a polycarb. So yeah, this board is like kind of quickly growing to be, it's going to be hard to beat, honestly. Of my favorite boards, it's going to be hard to beat. Glad you're streaming early. So, funny thing. A few weeks ago, Cyrus says, do you think we can miss Wednesday? And I said, yeah, that's fine. Like, we don't have a guest lined up. I haven't really messaged anybody. I was like, what's up? He's like, the OU game is on. I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And so usually we stream at 2 on Saturdays. And for those who don't know, I am a huge Packers fan, along with Zap Cables. And massive Packers fan, absolutely love them. And they were the number 1 seed in the NFC, which made me think, I wonder if that would make me think the number 1 seeds, you'd think this weekend is the divisional rounds, which means the best 2 teams are actually playing. They didn't have to play last week. So I'm wondering if they'll do Saturday, Sunday. It's Saturday, Sunday. Maybe the number 1 seeds will get the evening games, so streaming at 2 is totally fine. And then it comes out, Green Bay's playing at 3:30. And I was like, listen, I love the Evolv. I'm very excited to build this, but I'm not missing a Green Bay Packers playoff game because I'm streaming. So I told Eric, went up to Osiris, I messaged him. I was like, hey man, I'm going to stream like an hour early. He goes, fuck it, do 2 hours. I don't want you to miss that game. I was like, hell yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. So that game's at 3:30, and if I had started at 2, I like to do 2-hour streams, but I've heard there's some difficulties. Once we get to the building, I'll keep everyone kind of in the loop of what's happening. But there's some intricacies of this board that have not been 100% fleshed out, as this is kind of a proto run. That he said, hey, like, just watch out, here's some notes, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, all right, cool. And I just wanted to make sure. So I was like, all right, noon it is. So if this takes 3 hours, I still have 30 minutes to eat, like a wheel of cheese or something and prep. So let's see. I'm up till 4 a.m. trying to watch people like Apiary. I feel that, man. Yeah, streaming times for Europeans can get kind of fucked. I feel that, dude. Hello. Who is that? That's Blackhearted X. Blackhearted X. I just dropped a screw. It's a Chewy stream. Why wouldn't I? What a great time. You're just going to watch me look for a screw for a second. Oh, and it's down there. Be right back. That's always fun, right? You feel it hit your foot, and I felt it go down my leg and shoot off of my foot, and I was like, fuck. Glad I caught this stream. I've been watching this board on Geek Hack. Yeah, dude. I was really excited. I think this is one of the first ones built on stream. I know Mr. Nathan Alpha Man, which we'll get on here in a minute. We'll get him on here in a few. To chat. But I wanted to get at least the stabs done. Get all my focus. Just looked at it on Geek Hack. Looks super nice. Yeah, it's this thing's cool. This thing is very cool. One of my most hyped boards of 2021. I believe, I don't know how much info, but there is going, I assume I can kind of spoil this. There is going to be a group buy in 2021. I don't know when. He did say something about January, but you know, I don't want to speak for Mr. Nathan Alpha Man. I will say, Mr. Nathan Alpha Man, he and I are working on something right now. Something real cool. Not anymore in January. 2021 though? Is that fair to say? First half. There we go. Boom. Aloha. What's up, Ukulele Dad? If you guys don't follow Ukulele Dad, you are missing out on life. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Mr. Nathan Alpha Man and I received some good news that things are in motion. So, speaking of other 75%, even though it's not a 75% because I don't need arrow keys. The Baka 70 prototype has been put into place. Orders have been made, at least for the board. The PCB, we still got to work out a few details. Should be fun though. I'm excited. I don't even have a keyboard, but have been binging content. I mean, that's the way to go, right? You binge the content so you can learn what you might like, what you might dislike. It's kind of what I did. Before I ever had a board, I watched 001 Anthony for a long time. What was funny is a lot of, I think it's hilarious, but so in 2019, it was like late 2018, the main streamers there were Top Clack and Mr. Teha Types, along with 001 Anthony and a couple other people here and there. Tiny was around, but she wasn't really as much of a keyboard streamer as she was more artisan. And we were talking, we were like, man, we want more keyboard content. There's not enough people streaming. Let's go stream. And yeah, that is no longer a problem now. I love how many people are streaming now. But we definitely don't, there's no lack. I feel like someone's always streaming, and that's great because when I first got into this hobby, it was Thursday nights was Top Clack, 001 Anthony was Friday nights, and keep your head to the ground for anybody else. Saturday afternoons was Teja. So, all right. Kind of person, if I want something, I want it ASAP, so buying just part for now, wait for the rest would kill me. Well, Paxer, if you like 60%, Baka 60 extras will be soon. You didn't hear it from me, except you totally did. Buy and forget, then you got a surprise after 3 or more months. That's an interesting way to go about that, but, you know, I'm not going to say that's the best way to think about finances, but it's not the worst. There are worst. Squid not, but dude, I'm never going to make that. I'm never going to fix that mistake. Squid 60 extras will be soon. Are we going in? Looks like we're going in nice and flush. I don't even know if I like 60%. Love the look, but never used one. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to like and dislike, but I personally really like it because I feel like you don't need more than the rest. But if you're a diehard arrow fan or you need your F-Rose, get an Evolv. It's got F-Rose, it's got arrows. If you like F-Rose but you don't need arrow keys, Baka 670 coming out soon. Give me them arrows, yeah. I just had to marry someone who loves arrow keys. Alright, we need some stabby switches. It was somewhat difficult to switch for me from a full size, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah. It takes a minute. I mean, it takes a minute. When I went from a computer to a MacBook Pro or whatever back in like 2010, it was weird just having no numpad. I had to get used to it. Now, I don't own a board with a numpad. Need a numpad on my board, but that's not in right now. I would kind of disagree. It's not that it's not in, it's just not as popular because they're expensive. Somebody might be trying to fix that this year. Just saying. Just saying. I'm team arrow keys because my brain is too lazy to remember layers. And for my work, I really enjoy using the numpad, but yeah, my MacBook doesn't have one, so I got used to it. There you go. Sometimes you just got to get used to shit like that. Went from a Razer gamer board to a modern M0110 with Ambers. Hell yeah, dude. I had a Razer gamer board, and I was supposed to go. I guess I had a Razer, and then I went to a Cooler Master Master Keys Pro M. And then from there, I went to a 5 degree. Spacebar's sticking a little bit, so we're gonna pull it out and brush it some, see if that helps. Spacebar is always a little tough, especially on springs lower than 70 grams. Honestly, I'm someone that, with a spacebar, if you're doing something like, let's say you do like 65 grams, it might even be worth it to do like 70 grams on the spacebar. Just a little heavier because that switch is going to be, there we go, harder to use the spacebar. And guess what? They sound kind of silent because it's a silent switch. I'm going to try one quick thing. Let's just try a different switch. Sometimes the lube hasn't spread out 100%. We'll just try a different switch. Mostly using control on R3 was the hardest part with HHKB. Yeah. I get that. That is the wrong spacebar. What keyboard is he building now? This is an Evolv. What is happening? Is this spacebar messed up? No. Oh, is this that song that like takes forever? I am actually kind of confused on this. It's the wire. Interesting. We're going to have to take this out and look at it. So the wire, I think, was, yeah, it's curving down some. So we're going to push on it and see if we can straighten it out a little bit. Let's see, what are we building now? Say, I don't have a preference, but I feel like flex would be unbalanced only because the center is flexy. Yeah, that's my problem, is it just doesn't feel right. So let's try this again. Come on. There we go. So let's say, sub Zap, how's it going? So let's say I have an idea for a keyboard design. How does one start? You go, I'm blurry. You go find someone that knows how to design keyboards. Napkin, yeah. I get it. All right, I'm going to be right back. I got to see if I can find another wire because this wire is not working. So I'll be right back. We're back. So we've got a small problem. Nothing that can't be fixed. Just reminds me that I need to order some wires soon. So I have backups. But as we can see, this, I've tried bending it, but this wire, if you can tell, is kind of got a weird bow to it. And that bow, especially right here, let me hold up a space bar so you can tell. There's like a little bow right here. And what that's preventing from happening is it's once the plate gets in there and the plate applies any amount of pressure, it's preventing the stab from going all the way back up. So, what do you do here? You take an old board. This is the old Rainbow Vomit board. Or you just have extra stabs on hand, and you take the wire out of that one. So, this is not the first time this has happened, but sometimes these wires just get too messed up and become unusable. So we're going to salvage some parts. I'll mail you all my 6.25 and 7 use stat. I mean, I'd be okay with that. So, let's put this aside. All our other stabs work just fine. It's going to be a slight mismatch because I don't have a gold 6.25. I'm just here for the beard, RX Chaser. Thanks, dude. Be a little mismatch, but you can't even really tell. So we're going to, like a barbarian, just kind of probably rip this thing out, but it'll probably be easier. This is a box jade board that hasn't been used in ages, so we're just going to yank out this plate from this build. And again, I've talked about this on stream before. I like when shit goes wrong because it's one, good to have extras, backups, what have you. Sorry for the noise. It's a box jade. It's good to have backups. Those orange caps are so nice. What are these? Is GMK Peaches and Cream. It's a little oversaturated right now from my camera. My camera is just very vibrant. I like it when it's a little bit more vibrant. It's a little less, it's a little more pale than this in person. So yeah, just a heads up. But I like when mistakes happen because a lot of what building keyboards is, especially on stream, because on this would not have happened. This wire would have been perfectly straight if I built this off stream. But we didn't build this off stream, did we? Oh yeah? My dog Howie's just wanting to get in on the action. But no, I like when shit goes wrong because that's a lot of what building keyboards is figuring out something's wrong and figuring out a solution as to why it has gone wrong. That has nothing to do, I would just like to make note, this has nothing to do with the Evolv. This has everything to do with the stabs. I believe these are Zeal stabs. I'm not saying that Zeal stabs are bad, but what I am saying is it might be best to always have some backups because you never know when something's going to go wrong. Solid beard, good call. Great catch, Bent White. Yeah, thank you. It's just a wire. Never know when you're going to sit on a stab. Absolutely. Peaches and Cream, I believe. Yes. By the way, underappreciated board. 5-degree acrylic. Cool board. Like $80 for the case. All right, so we're going to purposefully pop these wires and let's see if we can fish this out without having to desolder like 40 switches. I'm not attached to these stabs, so I might just have to destroy the stab. I don't think my wife has used this board in like a year. Almost a year. Longer. That's right, because you were on the Zyko Tofu for a long time. I'm not attached to this plate. I'm not attached to this PCB. My wife got her first custom KB. Lord help me. There you go. Lord help your wallet is more like it. How are we gonna do this? Because we gotta do this, and we gotta do this without damaging the wire. We can break just about everything on this board. I just don't want to break the wire. Just catching up, something wrong with the other step. The spacebar stab was bent. So we have to salvage. I am not one that uses 6.25s. So right now we're destroying a stab to salvage from an old build. Nothing wrong with the board, just something wrong with the stab. But the show must go on. I really, this is kind of one of those do as I say, not as I do. I really don't recommend doing this. I am doing this in the interest of time. I have been meaning to rebuild this board for ages. And we are literally just destroying the spacebar stab. So if we can get one side nice and fucked up, then we can yank this puppy out, clean it, and get it in the build. Oh man, we're gonna have to side it out. We're just gonna have to remove this whole thing. Come on, baby. We're almost there. We're at the finish line. It hurts to watch. It does kind of hurt to watch, doesn't it? I'm sorry. What would be even worse is the first build being ruined by lack of stabs. Okay, we can desolder one switch. Because I should have desoldered the spacebar anyway. Bending it back works. I tried to bend it back. It did not work this time, sadly. All right. Whoop. Oh, hello. So while that heats up, again, I wouldn't recommend this, but this PCB, this is a KBD Fans, whatever it was called, mini USB, before they even switched to Type-C. I wish I could just fish this out, but literally it's the switch getting in the way. I'm not, this is one of those builds that has just been kind of sitting. It's a 60%. My wife's not a huge fan of 60%. It was kind of just deemed the rainbow build. I know she's been wanting to get one, a permanent fixture at work. Man, is this not even gonna, this is just scuffed to the max. Man, even my desoldering pump is messed up. This is fun. Let's see if that worked. Probably not. Nope. Hey, you want to help me out real quick? Gonna have to call in an assistant because I'm about to do something kind of stupid. But again, when you're when everything goes wrong, we're gonna still make this work because my pump broken. Gonna need a new one. I need you to hold it like this. Just right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally loosen up boom. There we go. We're done. Thank you. Shout outs. Give me a horn. Give me a Mexon horn for Abracadaniel saving this build. Saving this build. I've done this technique before. It works. Don't knock it till you try it. That's all I'm saying. It works. Abracadaniel saving the build in this shit show. This box jade. We're whoo, buddy. Thank you. And thanks for help with the squid. Of course. Yeah, dude, yeah. If I there are some people that got a handwritten note from her. You might be one of the lucky ones. I did. For those who don't know, it's kind of not a surprise anymore. We did some handwritten thank you cards, as I kind of thought that would be a cool little addition. I wrote most of them, but she did write a good chunk. Rip all gold wires. I'm sorry, spread the germ. I tried, but it did not work out. So we can talk, and I can try and do some desolder later. But for now, this is just what we're going to have to work with. And the thing is, I put the lube away. I screwed the lube back on. I screwed the whole thing up because I screwed the lid back on top. So we don't need that on for right now, but we will need it. Actually, let's just leave that on. And brush. My desk is a mess right now. But we're going to relube and retry. So, yeah, she wrote some of the thank you cards, and I like to think that if you got one, you're special. If you go back and double check, I think hers were written in purple, and I do not believe that any of them were. I think that, oh my God, is this wire too big now? This wire's too big, isn't it? No, it looks about the same. We're going to try. All right, not too big. We're good. Don Bros, man, how's it going? How's it going being 29? Stressful. You know, the 10th was a very busy day of packing U.S. orders. Monday, you know, I called USPS and I was like, I have a big order that I need to drop off at your location. And they were like, just bring it in. And I was like, no, I mean, I have a big order. And they were like, oh, okay, just bring it around back. That's a funny story in itself, and I will talk about it in just a second. I just want to make sure this PCB works. Actually, you know what? Fuck, I'll tell you right now. So we go to USPS. My wife comes with me because she's amazing, and she has been the biggest help on this group buy. Big shout outs to her and Blind Assassin for being just massive helps through all this. Cyrus being great at handling my stress and allowing me to relax this week. Now, that sounds bad because that makes it sound like Eric doesn't allow me to be relaxed, but just being chill and being like, yeah, I understand you're busy. We try and limit. He would have been able to come over and help, but we try and limit the amount of contact due to COVID. But just huge shout out to everyone. Shout out to I'm not going to say who, but the first person. The big part, the scariest part of the group buy is when the first board says delivered. I was like, oh shit. There we go. Let's try it on a different space bar just because I am now paranoid. There we go. All right. So let's get some of these desoldered in, or not desoldered, soldered in, so we can start this process. And I will, Nathan Alphaman, if you are in chat, let me know and I can give you a shout here in just a sec. But I show up to the back and I'm like, they're like, just, you know, pull up and I'm like, hey, can I park here? And they're like, yeah, well, I'll help you in just a minute. I was like, all right, sweet, thanks. And then this giant dude in a giant truck pulls up and he's just like pointing at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting here like an idiot taking up your space, obviously. Nathan, I'm going to give you a Discord call here in like 2 minutes. So just heads up. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And so I move and I get out of the car and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, that's, you know, I don't want to have to carry these now like 30 yards and make like 40 trips doing this. And he's like, hey, are you here to drop off? I was like, yeah. And he goes, come over here. And he puts me to a different direction. And this behemoth of a man, like, guy could probably be, if this guy wasn't working for the U.S. Post Office, he'd be a freaking linebacker in the NFL. And he's like, he opens up this box. He's like, how much? Open your trunk. And he's like, all right, good. Let me just grab a box. I'm mobile because I just unplugged my keyboard. There you go. And this guy just is like, his hands are like 3 times. I have decently sized hands. I have short fingers, but huge palms. And this guy just like, he's just grabbing them and just going. And I leave, and it was a huge relief to get them done. And the funniest part is, so like on Pirate Ship, it will tell you these are how many boards are like in transit, delivered, out for delivery, all that stuff. So I've been, of course, nervously checking all day long to the point where my wife's like, you realize nothing's happened in the last 20 minutes, right? And I was like, but maybe. And she's been a huge help for my sanity this week. But all but one were in transit. And one of them just said arriving, or waiting to arrive at post office. And I'm sitting there like, oh, fuck. Which keyboard? Are you talking about this one? This is the bumper. This is the PCB for the Evolv. Also, Respawn, Sniffle Z, Lobstven, The Beatty Gamer. Thank you guys for your follows. And I'm sitting there panicking like shit. I dropped this off. Maybe I left it in my car. Maybe I left it at home. Roly Poly Panda. That's an amazing name. Thank you for the follow. So I'm like in a fucking panic. And then like, of course, the next day it's like, man, it's in transit now. I'm like, oh, so you know, I shipped out 59 US orders. And I was like, cool. You got to 58 and you were like, I'm done. I'm like, thanks for causing me panic. But I got 2 more to solder, and then we're going to give Mr. Nathan Alphaman a call. Good friend. So I suggest I'm going to go to a Be Right Back screen to get this set up. We're going to take a grindonomic break. I'm going to stand up, stretch, and then call Mr. Nathan Alphaman. I suggest everybody stand up, look away from your computer monitor for a second, stretch, lean, do some neck stretches, all that. Grindonomic break. It's called that because my buddy Grindbox is a huge fan of ergonomics. So let's take that grindonomic break. I will be right back. So I've been informed that the internet of Mr. Nathan Alphaman is not cooperating with him. So we're just going to truck along. So on the first... so this is obviously the first iteration of this keyboard. Things happen. Things can go wrong. The Bacchus 60 had its problems. I'm glad to say that 2 of the 3 have been 100% fixed. Sometimes... some of the boards might get a little rattle, and I can explain exactly what that is. And Osiris and I talked about this for a long time the other day. So you don't see a lot of sandwich mount boards that have Win keyless. And the reason is because that plate's just kind of floating there, and there's no gaskets. It's held together with metal. I love it because it's a real stiff typing experience. That's my favorite in the world. That's what the Squid 60 is. That's what the Bacca was. That's what the Bacca 70 will be. So what happens is, since that plate kind of floats, there is a little play there. And so what happens is that the Win keyless blocker is going to potentially, if the plates are, sometimes will show up and there's a little warp, Something about a Baka 100. No actual Baka 100. I'm going to probably cap the Baka series at 60 and 70 and then move on to something different. But what will happen is that plate will rattle against the wind keyless blockers, and that happens because the plates will sometimes just naturally bow. And that bow, if it's bowing in the, kind of like an arch across the board, or a frowny face, if you will, then that plate can touch and rattle. How do you fix that? While this isn't the nicest, I've preached for a long time, this board's not a key cold, it's not perfect. The quick fix is just a small piece of electrical tape, and you put it on the plate under the wind keyless, or you can flip the top casing down, put some wind keyless on, put some electrical tape on the wind keyless blocker, and all that does is prevent metal on metal rattle. It kind of acts, it's not a gasket, but it acts as a gasket. And I have had one person tell me that has happened on their board. It will only happen if your plate is a little bit warped. I can't prevent that warping. I could order 500 plates and the warping could happen on 495 of them. But it's tape. It's not going to show as long as you don't just tape completely all over it. And if you do, you know what? It's your board. I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever you want with your board. By the way, real quick, Tot Derek, Ugdug1, and Wubabelk. What's up? This pen is bent. So a little bit of tape will help. Honestly, it works on a couple different boards. If you kind of want it to sound, electrical tape can go a long way on non-gasket mounted boards. So just saying. I do apologize for anyone who's expecting a perfect board that is going to sound perfect the second you build it and everything's perfect. I'm sorry. It's not 100% perfect. It's not going to be the best board you own. It might be the best board you own now. It's not going to be the best board that's ever been made. I was never trying to. It's the workhorse board. That's what I say. Perfect one more time. Perfect. But it was never trying to be the best board in the hobby. It's trying to be a solid workhorse build. So we're just getting these in. There's some F-row keys. I guess there is some clearance issues on the F-row with the case. So I have some instructions on how to avoid that and its specific keys. So we're just going to put in the F-row keys last. This switch is wanting to be goofy. Might need a new desk with a higher weight capacity of this chunky squid. Yeah, dude. If you were wondering if you're going to get a heavy feeling board, you're goddamn right. Those things are heavy. The other day, I think it was like Thursday, because DOMS is a thing, delayed onset muscle soreness. My wife wakes up, she's like, my arms are sore. I was like, my entire fucking body's sore. Some people might not realize it's a lot of fucking physical labor going into doing a group buy. With these fucking chonky boys, the perfect 70. There you go. With these fucking chonky boys, I'm sure those were annoying to deal with, and I'm sure his hands and arms were sore. The perfect 70. My wife didn't know what to think when she picked it up. When I first handed the Baka to my wife, she does it. She gets it. And she was like, and she puts it down. And she goes, "Why? And I was like, I don't know, but it's fucking cool that this thing is so freaking dense." But it's cool, now you've got a keyboard that can double as a blunt object. Weight equals premium? Absolutely. Absolutely. Brass plate, brass weight. Guess what? Baca 70. It's going to be even heavier. It's going to be like, I think we were estimating it's going to be over like 7 pounds. Something like that. The weight, it's basically the Baca 70 is a Baca 60 or a Squid 60 with an F-row, and the plate is, and the weight is even bigger. Did I go overkill making a 4.5 kilogram 65% then? No. Heavy boards are fun. Just saying. All right. So, and then our F-row. So let me read my notes. 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. So I can do 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 12. So basically any of the switches that go on these holes I can comfortably put in the rest. How far the process? I have ordered a prototype. It is going to be a few months because Chinese New Year is coming up, and that's going to slow down the process some, but ordering proto is the process. We still got to order a proto for the PCB. Got to put the PCB in Q and K because I'm not going to ship out a board that the PCB is not in Q and K. Because it does have to have a brand new PCB. One thing that I am kind of mulling over is I might force you to buy 2 PCBs. That's something that I'm thinking about. Just like, hey, I don't want what happened to Osiris with the Orange 75 or any board where you have to have a proprietary PCB. I don't like proprietary PCBs. I don't like them at all. But this one, for this layout, it has to. So I'm like, you know what? I might just make you buy 2. Like, you can't. What comes standard is a plate and 2 PCBs, because then I don't have to worry about, oh, let's do a small group buy for more. So I would just suggest you can buy more than 2 if you want even more extras, but I would just hold on to one of those as a, oh shit, I wanted to do this and the PCB broke. Then you have an extra one. Because that would just suck. So might be a little extra money, but I'm like, you know what? I'm saving you and me a lot of hassle later. So we've got these. What the hell? This is funny. This switch just doesn't go down. Look at that. We got a bad switch here. I'm sitting here typing and then I just hit this beam. I don't know what happened there. Look at that. It's like a bajillion gram. Come on, stop focusing. This is just funny. We don't even have to do this. Now I'm just wasting even more time. This thing is just... Nope, that's a ruined switch. But this is why. Look at all these extra switches. Boom. Spread the germ. Knows what's up. Send extra switches. Because guess what? Shit goes down. Shit goes wrong. Vanagon came with 2 plates and 2 PCBs. Exactly. Bajillion gram switches is the future. Absolutely. We always talked... Cyrus and I always talk about, like... If you make a keyboard where like an Overwatch, like Q is your old, right? Do like a 200 gram Q. So you know you're hitting freaking Q when that happens. Would another option be to open source the PCB after group buy? That would depend. It just depends on what I would, because I don't know personally, like I would love to, but I don't know, because then that opens up of people using that exact layout, but then you can't really like copyright a layout. It just, I think, I don't know. Personally, I have no idea. That's something, I haven't really come across that yet. The designer of the PCB, surprise, surprise, it's Blind Assassin. Blind Assassin and I are basically just partners for life in the sense of keyboards. So I'm not going to I'm not going to do anything without his permission. I wouldn't just say open source it, because I did pay him for designing this PCB, but that doesn't mean that I now can go sell that PCB to other people. So this PCB doesn't have a daughter board. It does not. And I'm okay with that. I don't really care about daughter boards. I'm not against daughter boards, but with a polycarbonate bottom, daughter boards might look a little goofy because you don't have a wire. So that would be my assumption as to why there's no daughter board. If you have a polycarbonate bottom, a wire might be not the most attractive thing to look at. You could hide it with the weight, but even then, to me, if you can build a PCB where it's just there, it's just on it and perfect. Less error of someone going, oh, I use this, and then I fucking yank the daughter board out. Like, yeah, well, shit happens. Back to PCBs that if you screw it up on the first try, you're just screwed. So, all right, let's get to soldering. For those who are wondering, we solder at 660 degrees. It is a bit on the hot side. We do it at 660 because I was going to put it, I was going to put it at 650 and I overshot it and I got tired of dealing with it. I also don't have my solder fan out. Get one of these, guys. I'll see a lot of streamers using these now. Fantastic. Just get not this exact fan. There's like a specific fan that a lot of people are using. This one's great. Doesn't need to be super powerful. It just needs to be able to push solder fumes away from your face. Shout out to Abracadaniel. I think I got this for my birthday last year, and she has prevented me from inhaling solder fumes for a long time. What mount is the Evolv? It is a gasket mount. I will go through like the whole process of the mounting system. I think it's great, but I will go through the mounting system once I am actually like mounting the board. So I want to tell a quick story. I was asked to tell this on another stream last week or 2 weeks ago. So, timeline. January 5th was the day that I received the boards. I started QCing the next 2 to 3 days. On I believe Thursday, I decided, I was like, I'm not going to go just try and rush through all of this. I want to prep everything and get everything ready. Is there any type of foam for the plate or case? Not that I am aware of. If you do put foam in this case, I don't know if there's clearance for foam, but if you do put foam in this case, you might be blocking any RGB, which would, with polycarb case, a lot of people might want that RGB. So, we built the baggies that have your screws and bump-ons and stuff like that. Friday, I worked on thank you cards, as well as figuring out a packaging system. For those wondering, if you did get a Squid 60, if you did get a Squid 60, you probably got a letter and 2 numbers. Transparent sorbethane when? I mean, let's go. Let's get this going. It was like G or B, which is gray or black, and then any idea on the Evolv timeline, he said that the group buy would run in the first half of 2021. So by June 30th, there should be a group buy. But, Saturday was my birthday and I had a build stream. And then Sunday we got them all packed and ready. Monday I labeled. Tuesday out the door. So in 1 week's time, I was able to get I was able to get the U.S. orders out. I'm still, today I will probably send, because I decided international, because of shipping times, like I had my U.S. orders, you had to pay shipping up front. International, due to COVID, I didn't want to guesstimate on how much shipping was going to be and then either over or under based on the timing. I didn't want to have to go back and be like, hey, you owe me more money now. So the boards are, I'm going to be doing some Canada boards this weekend. I've been in contact with them. And then I have a few more boards that are international outside of North America. And I will be hitting those people up probably this weekend for emails as well. And getting those boards out. And then I will be done shipping. And then on to the Squid 60 extras. So excited to sell the extras too. That'll be fun. It's always, I don't have any price yet. I don't have a timeline yet. I told myself, don't even think about it until you are done shipping all orders. So got what looks to be an Arthur face by Holy Chipmunk. Maybe it's a chipmunk face. I don't know. Lunasec, thank you for the follow 5 minutes ago. My apologies for missing out on that. For those who are just joining us, I think that pin is bent. That pin is bent. We are building an Evolv. Is this the bent one? Yep. This is the prototype run, or a mini private run. Building it with Xylent 67 grams. I have no idea what that emote is, but I dig it. I'm not against it, that's for sure. But anyway, the DHL guy. So the shipment comes in. It's 13 boxes. I get a call. And this guy's like, hey, I'm on this street. I'm like, well, that's not the right street. I'm like, if you go through there, you're going to have to like awkwardly, Stray Chroma, what's up? It's like, if you go through there, you're going to have to like awkwardly drive through my apartment complex, because I live in one of those complexes where 90% of the complex is through one gate, and then there's like 4 buildings through the other gate. And there's multiple entrances and exits on that one, but there's only one for our area. And of course, we live in that area. So I'm like, you have to go through this. The easiest way is to go through this street. And he goes, wait, this is going to an apartment. I was like, yeah. And the guy, I'm on the phone with DHL. And the guy goes, son of a bitch. Like, oh shit, this guy's like cursing at me. And he's like, don't fucking tell me it's on the 2nd floor. And I was like, I mean, it's on the 2nd floor. And he's like, God damn it. This guy's like yelling at me on the phone. And he's like, are you going to help? And I was like, I'm going to try and be home in time. A really good friend of mine, Rick of the channel, he had come over to like intercept to make sure. But I was able to get off that day early enough to go help. And he's like, no, he's like, bro, if you're going to make me do this by myself, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's now threatening me. like what the hell is going on? So I'm sitting there like in a daze that I'm like, this DHL guy, where if I was recording this would get this guy fired. This guy's been burned before. Absolutely. He's like yelling, and he shows up, and I look over I kind of wish I was part of this, but I look over and like, did you tell him what's in it? And he's like, yeah, he doesn't want to know. I was like, yeah, I'm okay not having to describe that I've got 13 boxes full of keyboards. And it was just one of the most absurd situations. Buddy ordered 100 pounds worth of sandbags and just watched the delivery guy lug it all to his door. I would feel so bad. He helped bring them to the front door. My buddy Rick, our moderator, great friend. I kept demanding that I buy him lunch, and he kept ignoring it. He's just a good friend. He's good people. But very, Rick's one of those friends that you can rely on no matter what, and that's why I love him. Do the boards come in a wood crate? They did not on this one. It was on a pallet. I got there as he was like taking them out of the truck, but they were not in a wood crate. But we're moving along, moving and grooving. What is everybody's? Now, a couple more people asked this earlier. Any big keyboard plans this weekend? I sneak money into weird places of friends tonight getting paid. I don't have cash that much, man. That's what stinks. For a second, I thought we had another bent pen. I was like, Jesus, did I just forget how to build keyboards? It's like, I'm like okay at building keyboards. The fact that if someone said, are you good at building keyboards? I would just say, I've built a lot. I'm not as good as like Apiary. Apiary is way better at building keyboards than I am. I've built a lot. I know how to struggle through dealing with problems, like destroying an old keyboard to get a wire. Enjoy the keybs. I'm building some Zycos. RP Morrison? I'm sorry. I watched, it was a Dutch Master. He streamed recently where he built them and then did the build the next one. I was like, that's a nice sounding board. And he didn't destroy any, so respect. Mad respect. Just take your time on them. That's my only suggestion. That's kind of my suggestion with keyboards. Just take your time on it. Like, if you rush, is 20 minutes really going to make you enjoy the build that much more? The one was the one lonely. I'm bad with names. What's up, man? How's it going? No, very excited. I think this board is one of those boards that I think a lot of people, when it goes out, it's going to be probably difficult because I don't know if Nathan Elfman is grouping with a vendor or not. I mean, if you're wondering why someone might want to do it themselves, if I run a future run of the Squid 60 or I rerun the Baka 60 in a bigger group, I have zero plans to do so. If I do, it would be something like special. It would be something unique. It would just be kind of cool to see. But I don't plan on running it again. I would want to do something different. But if I've already run something or I've got protos or something, If you're going through a vendor and they're the one shipping it out, that means you have to either fly up, which right now, of course, I'm not flying in 2021. I'm not getting on a plane in 2021. Right now, it would be risky to go and work on this. It's not pushed all the way in. Glad I caught that. Work on QC with them. The other thing too is some people, if I'm doing let's say I do 50 boards. If I'm doing 1,000, then fuck, of course I'm doing through a vendor. But you're probably also going to make enough money that you can, let's say you can fly. Let's say it's safe to fly. You're probably going to make enough money to be able to go fly out there. If you're making 1,000 boards, I mean, even if you make $10 on a board, you're going to make enough money to fly out there and work on it. But if you're doing 50, it's you would have to split costs with vendors. 200, that's where it starts really flirting the line of do I go through a vendor? That's a lot of money to deal with. Would that be worth flying out there? Probably. It depends on your ratio. It depends on your net profits. You have to understand shit goes wrong. I'll be honest and say in the Squid 60 buy, we ran into a situation where we had to pay another $1,000 to make sure the boards got delivered. That came out of freaking nowhere, and was a stressful day. So that was an extra $1,000, just boom, gone, out of any of the profits of the keyboard. So it sucks, but you just have to understand that some things are going to cost more. Trying to figure this stuff out because I ordered R1 Protos last night for a first design. There you go. 200, if you're doing a first group buy and you're doing it by yourself, 200 is a lot. I will say it's doable. If you don't have a job, or if you have a job at work, the work from home, or you have a job where you can take some time off, I would take some time off. I would not do 200 personally. I don't think I'm going to, if I did 100, I probably could have done 100. I think the final total orders at first was anywhere between, it was 70 to 72-ish. It was one of those. I'd have to look at my charts. I should probably be soldering while I do this, but I could have done 100. I would have been fine with 100. You have to order extras because sometimes you get B stock, and with some of the boards, I ordered one for myself, I ordered one for my wife, and my friends got some, and a couple of us are getting boards Cerakoted, so I'd had to take if you got a board, or you get a board that says G and then it's X'd out on the foam for the packaging, and it says B, that means I took that board. That board probably was an A stock case color, and I swapped the case color with what was a B stock, or I swapped the weight out to make it a little bit better, or just to make sure you're getting all A stock stuff. But some of the B stock boards, we're getting Cerakoted. So some of my friends and I are just getting Cerakoted that are local, and it was easier to grab some of those B stocks and Cerakote them. So you do need to have some extras. Luckily, I was able to get all A stocks for my extras. Once again, not revealing how many I have quite yet, but they will be available soon TM, the next few weeks. I will have more announcements on that later, on how many and the price. So 200 is my goal, but I don't know how many I'll get. Lol. 200, I mean, it's not doable. It's just a lot. That's just, I would plan it out to where going into it that you're going to do 50 a week instead of I'm going to try and get all 200 out. It's no, you're not, because it's going to take you multiple trips. The USPS or UPS or FedEx or whatever you use, they might even tell you, no, I'm not taking any more right now. So I would Just go in and say, hey, we're going to do first come. If you order yours first, if you're doing like a first come, first serve up to 200, if you order yours first, I might say something like, hey, if you're one of the first people to order, you'll get yours first. I'm going to go these 50 orders and it'll be week by week by week. And I think that's how you should do it. That's how I think it would be done, because then it rewards the people that are like, yeah, I want to get there first. And, you know, if let's say it takes 4 hours, there's someone who goes, oh shit, I forgot about that. They might have to wait a few weeks for theirs. But that's fine. But I like rewarding the people that were some of the first people to buy the board, because if that means that they were waiting for it, that means that they were excited for it. That's not to say other people weren't, but you know, it feels good when you open up the group buy form and like 6 or 7 people, it's like boom, 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 boom. And it's like you hit, 20 without even realizing it in like 10 seconds. And you're like, that's cool that 20 different people were basically in line ready to go on ordering this case. So I think I got them all soldered. We're going to test this PCB. I don't have some of the switches put in. I need to go back and look on what I need to do real quick. One thing to watch out for on the switches is F2. Okay, option 2, similar to how the Vegas bill assembled the switches into the PCB with a top case already installed to make the single top plate PCB assembly. Okay, so it's lubing time. Lube machine. All right, so it looks like from that description that I put this on. It says like install, but I guess just place it on and then put the switches in. Don't need the fan anymore. I'll survive on the last 8 switches. Okay. Almost done wrapping this up. Getting excited. Typing test will be a little interesting because it is this typing test is with silence, so it's not like you're going to hear a whole lot. But I can describe how it feels. And I'm excited to see how this bad boy looks. And spread the germ's gonna have to wait a couple days. I'm glad that it's a holiday weekend because I'm gonna be using this bad boy all weekend. Okay, so we have done as stated how to build this. We're going to solder in these last couple. Man, I'm excited for the group buy, and I hope that I get a chance in the raffle. I hope so too, man. I hope that everybody who gets this board gets a chance. And then I guess I need to solder in I should probably solder in the knob. That's probably a good thing to do before closing this case up. That didn't look right. We'll have to go back and fix that. Will it be possible to just get a PCB? I do not know. I'm going to assume no. That's not a slight at Nathan Alphaman. It is just rare to see. It is rare to see a board that you can just order the PCB. 1 sec while I awkwardly push this bad boy out and re-solder this switch. Ooh, that was crushed. This is why we send extra switches. What group buy are you talking for? I'm assuming the Evolv. Is this group buy for PC case only? I believe it is. I think he's changing exactly how he's going to do it. Nope, that's not the right one. I want to say he is changing up how he is going to. I want to say it's. I don't think all PC is available on this next one. There we go. A little bit of a ghetto way of approaching this, but what happens to this board after you've tested, played around with it? Do you send it back? I send it. This is actually for. So he did a like a little proto run and got some people on it. He got people like in on this little proto run. Usually if people are doing proto runs, it's so that it is cheaper to make protos, and people, and you kind of go into it understanding, hey, I'm getting a prototype keyboard. So I think he said in Discord it's all metal, only this and F was PC. I don't know if he's doing metal bass quite yet, but I wish I could talk to him about it. Unfortunately, what is going on? There's 3. I am starting to believe that I probably should have installed this before putting this top in. Is this? Yeah. Let's get this out. Let's get these pins. If Nathan is here, do I solder this or do I bend him? I don't. Man, fuck if I know. I'm gonna assume solder. And only like one other person I know has built it. So we are just checking to make sure. I think you solder the knob, but I would really rather not mess this one up. So looking to figure that out. Let me see if he said something about it. Again, you know, we're going through making sure that we're installing the knob currently. I think you solder it, but I should have done my research beforehand. Let me see. I'm like looking at 2 other. Thank you, someone who just asked in this little group. So, guys, again, we don't have the details on the group buy yet, but it will be here in the next 6 months while I await figuring out on this soldering the knob. I mean, I imagine you would, but once again, the last thing I want to do is go and solder something, and then it's like, oh, that was the last thing you were supposed to do. You were not supposed to apply any amount of heat to that. So we'll find out in just a moment, and then we'll get the rest of this built up. Because the other thing too is it looks like it's relatively difficult to put it in with the top piece as well, so it's a little awkward because you can't really see, and there's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 different knobs or 10 different pens that you have to go through. So I'm literally about to just call someone. I'm like straight up about to call a buddy of mine that built this and be like, hey, answer your phone. Also, keyboard question. Making a phone call live on stream. So here we go. Their phone is off. Awesome. This is fantastic. Go Snacks, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. We're talking, do we have a rough ballpark of how many units are planned to be produced? I have no idea. I don't think. I would imagine probably somewhere in the 100, but that is pure speculation. That is 100% speculation at this point. What issue are you having? I'm trying to figure out if you are to solder the knob in, or you bend the knobs, because these are bend the pins on the knob inward. I assume you solder, but I really don't want to find out. See, that's what I was thinking, is you bend them in and then solder, but I don't want this to be the special one where now I have to accidentally find out that the knob is something you should never touch with heat. So I also don't know why my camera keeps just like focusing on the plants behind me. Let's see. Because they're a nice plant. The plants do deserve it, absolutely. Ping Nathan on Discord. We're, hey, this is how streams work. You go in, and I guarantee you what he's gonna say is, yeah, go ahead and solder it. But if I solder it, then he's gonna be like, I hope you didn't solder it by now. Have any streamers built this board trying to find a build bid? I believe this is the first build that the first stream that has built it. It's I know another buddy. I'm gonna try calling another buddy of mine. We're gonna try calling him one more time. This is the first recorded build. This is why we're trying not to screw it up. So, fun. I just don't want to make any assumptions. What other board uses a Gondo PCB? Oh yeah, I guess I could also message Gondo. Let's see. This is just, how keyboards are built. You just sit around and wait, and then some knight in shining armor gives you the answer that you need. But I do find it funny that everyone seems to be busy. This is exactly how making keyboards is done. So we're just going to fill time with, let's see, another story. So I ordered Jack Static, what's up? We're in limbo right now, trying to decide what I'm supposed to do. This is this is kind of like the proto run. There's like a lot of these. Like I think there's like 15 to 20 or something. We're trying to decide if you solder the pins on the knob or not. I don't have a solidified answer. Anyone that has built this board is gray on Discord right now. So that's nice and fun. And we just don't want to assume anything. Baka 70 though, very excited to get that going, get that up off the ground. I ordered a proto. For those who know, the Baka 60 was the Baka 60 was run as basically a 20 board proto run, so I just kind of hoped everything worked great, and it worked out. I didn't want to do that to begin with, but with this, I was, I'm a little bit more financially stable at this moment, so I was able to get this board protoed and ordered. So I'm excited that I'm able to get this. The proto, it's going to be done correctly, and then we'll hear more news on that. I'd love to run a group buy over the summer and try and just kind of maybe go on that, like, hey, the group buy runs on the summer and then it's shipped by the holidays, or maybe right after the holidays. So give me one more second. I'm just going to keep calling this dude until he picks up. Homeboy is just not answering. So, let's see. Yeah, and then Squid 60, I said this earlier. International orders are going to be going out this week, so be sure to check that if you guys are international and awaiting. Just check your emails. I'll be emailing everyone and seeing about I'll be emailing everybody and making sure that your addresses are correct and sending out invoices for those. I need to look up like international shipping right now, because it might be a little messed up and I might have to hold on to your board for a little bit longer due to some of the wait times right now, or they're just being held, and I don't want a board being held in customs for like a month or 2 months because of COVID. That would not be fuegers, as we said. So but can you show the bottom case, please? This board is so dang interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So this is the bottom. There's a weight. The weight I will peel off in just a few. It's right here. I'll show that off more. And then this is what I call tendrils. Very, very cool. Is the actual one a metal base? From what I've heard, I think it's polycarb base, and then it'll have a metal top, which those boards sound great. So very, very cool. Excited to get the weight in there. Actually, you know what? While we're sitting here, let's screw this weight in. Let's find some time. All right, let's get this opened up. Ooh, it's a little ASMR. Ooh. Look at that. Oh, there's the camera. This is really fucking clean. I'm gonna clean this up. There's some smudges right here that I'm gonna do a lot more cleaning on this before I send it back out. You should solder the knob, I guess, Chewy. All right, well, that's Gondo. So we heard it from Gondo. Gondo saved the day. It works soldering. All right, well, there we go. We're gonna screw the weight in. Isn't Nathan here? His internet is... I think he is traveling. Definitely adds a nice beefy base. We'll go full show off. Time to solder. So I'm going to bend these pins just a little bit. Actually, I don't even know if there's enough space to bend them. This will be a little tricky. And the solder holes are a little bit smaller. But Gondo, thank you. You have saved the day. So let's get this going. All right. Got that nice UT shirt. Are you in the 801? Oh, I don't. This is from Old Navy. This is just an Old Navy t-shirt. Actually, does it even say Utah on the front? I don't know. Did I turn around at some point? Nathan, let's see if he solders and ignores him when he asks. I love it. Ooh, all right. So let's get this put together. Ah, there it is. There it is. Nathan has been getting full use out of a NAMP set today. Nathan, I was hoping Chewy would tell me. I love it. So the first little flaw I see is that this knob with the screw does not go in all the way. I told Nathan, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to be critical. You know, I'm not trying to be a dick, but if I see something wrong, I'm not going to hide from it, and I think that's important. So this knob has a little screw, so you can like interchange the knobs. And a little goofy going on, but we're good. We're getting there. And so the knob, that screw from the knob is preventing it from going all the way through. Like you can't put the knob through, so you just have to take it off. Now the screws, I mean, it's really easy to put on, but there we go. Nice and seated. And why did I put the screws like that? Let's finish strong on this one. Let's finish strong on this one. Drops the first screw. Yeah, these are aqua xylants. I should have put aqua xylants. I was just like, oh, there's xylants. Because I can feel that there's xylants. Is this not the right screw? Did I grab a short one? Or is this not put all the way in? There we go. It's a little goofy, I'm not gonna lie. This is a little, you're gonna have to keep applying the pressure because the gaskets, you know, you're squeezing. Essentially what we're doing right now is we are squeezing. This is not, even remotely close to the build. What you're doing is you're just squeezing this plate together. But now that we've got two, I find it best to kind of, like you're tightening a tire, kind of go in a star pattern or a cross or whatever. It's best to kind of not do like right to left, right? So, you know, maybe do your corners first, then your inside ones. This isn't like 100% like across. This doesn't, you know, have like, oh, perfect evenly across. So it's cool that it's a seamless design. I appreciate that. I've actually never built a board that is not tray mount, because technically tray mount is seamless. So I guess I've never built a non-tray mount seamless design. Glad that this is the first one. Center to outwards for plastic or rectangular parts with more than 4 corners. Noted. This is not the right screw. Be wrapping up here shortly. Very excited to see this done, and with the keycap set, and to finally use, I got sent some very rare artisans to use on this build. And I have just gotten confirmation that you do solder it, so thank God. Breath. I can take a deep breath. Okay, I did not tighten this part. All right, so the knob, I'm not going to say, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. The knob, it's not perfect, but it's cool. The screw situation probably could use a readjustment, but it could also just be me. But it works. It spins. All right, so give me just a moment. I will be right back. I'm just going to tidy up real quick, and then we'll put these caps on, and then we'll call it. So thank you guys for hanging around. Be right back. So, just a quick apology. Sorry for the scuff stream. I usually try and do these a little bit quicker. Shout out to some people that have helped figure out these awkward situations with the knob, but on to the rest of the build. Thank you, Gondo. We'll do that here in just a minute. I want to get the caps on, and then we'll get to work. Did I grab the wrong shift? Nope, that's just not even what I'm looking for. All right. I believe the layout is a little interesting. I haven't seen something like this. What's the problem with the knob? The knob. So there's nothing wrong with the knob. I couldn't figure out if I had to solder it or not. So it's not. I wouldn't say there's something problem with the knob. The one thing I'm having is this screw. One, it protrudes, so you can't like put it through the case, or if you do, it's just very difficult. And two, it doesn't really tighten it that much. But it's not something. It's not like you're gonna be picking it up by the knob. I like Mizu so much. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. Try VIA, but the file I sent might not work. QMK firmware has changed substantially. Noted. I will get this working. I will do all that in just a few. I'm gonna get some caps on first. Okay, that's wrong. And we gotta pull some caps out of the... I still got a few caps out of my Mizu bag that I gotta pull, because this is typically put on... these caps are usually on my Baka, but... he was like, oh, I'll send you Mizu. I was like, I'd rather not risk, like... mailing a keycap set that's hard to find. I was like, I already have it. Let's do it. This is a prototype. It will work. I'm going to try, but oftentimes I don't even like. A lot of the times, if it doesn't work, I'm not like going to sit here and try and fix it. Especially on a prototype, because sometimes it is easier and it is best in certain situations to just go ahead and work on it off stream when you're dealing with something like a PCB, where especially on like a board that maybe it could be a situation where you're not able to you don't want to ruin the PCB, right? You have one shot at it, and if you screw it up, while most PCBs can be fixable, I'd rather not sit there and potentially run the risk of screwing up the PCB, and I'd just do that off stream. It brings me peace of mind. It lets me be a little bit more relaxed, and I can really see how everything... Whoop! Or I just drop the board. Jesus Christ, Dave. Because I got to work on the space bar too, and I'm going to get that figured out. Broke it? Nah, it's just that. That's why we have a desk mat. And that's why you put bump-ons immediately. I'm sure that'll get clipped. Yeah, if it doesn't work, it's Drew's fault now. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I got some caps to find. When in doubt, it's best to point blame. Probably been asked, when is PC available? I don't know. The next group buy is which do we do, white arrow keys or do we do navy arrow keys? That's my first real question on here. I know the first group buy is not, I do not believe it's going to be all polycarb. Do I prefer PC? No, I do not. I'm more of a metal board. I have some PC. I've got a PC board right here. I've got a PC board over there. I like having the polycarbonate boards, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I would go for immediately. I enjoy the sound. The sound of PC is great, but I enjoy kind of the heft of it. Mod arrows, absolutely. For now, I'm gonna have to take these caps off anyway because these are my caps, but mod arrows. The guy says mod arrows. We'll do mod arrows. It's not even agreed. Oh, navy arrows. All right. Well, you know, that's his board, so easy peasy. Boom. And we just pop those out. Navy arrows is. All right, there's our 2U backspace that I can assure you has never been used. Let's see, F12. We're going to ignore this entire column because we've got something special planned for those. I've just got to find my F keys. There's an F key. There's my 8 and 9. What else do we got? F10. Welcome to Mechs on Deck, where you're going to watch me search for keycaps. And perfect content as always. All right, so we got F1 and F11. F1. I'm going to look at it on my desk because oftentimes it's like easier. It's like always easier to see the top down, right? I know that's not it. God, how awkward would that be if you, this is how you discover, this is probably it. Yep. That you're out. So I'm actually genuinely curious because so the normal short shift is this, but this doesn't fit, which means there's a shorter short shift. So this is your standard short shift, right? But it's a one. This is 1.7, so we got to find our 1.5, which I'll be honest, I don't even know if I've ever used one. Bottom row novelty. That's what I'm thinking too. I think that's how we save ourselves, is a bottom row novelty. So we'll just do this. Got to fix this space bar again. I'm going to probably wind up rebuilding this board because this space bar is just not wanting to work with me. I don't know if it's the plate. Definitely worth looking into. Don't know if it's the plate. Don't know if it's the actual stabs themselves. This plate or this space bar is just not wanting to cooperate. But I will have to work on that off stream because obviously I'd have to desolder. But why did I make that decision to keep going? Because one, we want to see how this thing's functioning. And 2, I didn't actually finish putting caps on because arrow keys. But 3, it's not like the space bar is going to sound any different. Just got my squid, Lee Turk. Hell yeah, dude. So, and once we find our last arrow key, we will actually be done. There it is. Except, I want to show this off. Foxic0169, thank you for the follow. Selena474, Extra Bill, Alvarad X08, BWA Tained, Ghost Snacks, and Lube Machine, Lunasec. Thank you guys all for follow. This is from Art Key. This is a pretty cool. We'll keep this Verdant Runner. So these are some Mizu themed Art Key caps. These are pretty insane. Very excited. I have seen these. So this build has been planned for a long time. I've had access to these caps. And by access, I mean these have been sitting in my closet for like 6 months. And these are insanely awesome caps. I'm going to try. I don't want to, it's kind of awkward to get these out because I don't want to scratch them. But we're going to take the logo, perfect for the germ build, exactly. So we're going to do that one up here. And then, let's see. Let's just go boom. 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 There she is. Whoop. Got some clearance issues with that cap. All right. That's not the board. That is the artisan, just so everyone knows. See if the artisan should fit swapped around. Yeah, I imagine. I think I'm just going to do this one. Oh, nope. Still not. That is an awkward artisan. This specific one. Yeah, just for looks, we're just going to keep that right there. We're not going to press it, and then I will remove it later and let him do this because I don't want to be the one experimenting with these caps. And this one also, I guess you have to go big, small, big, small. Well, it's kind of up. I'm like super zoomed in. All right, so functionality, I'm not going to touch these. This is more for look and for some sweet pictures later. Let me get these picked up. Looks good. Spacebar is having issues. Don't know if that's a wire problem or if that is the plate. I'm going to have to do more looking, but I would rather have a watchful eye when I'm not having to sit here on stream. As it can potentially, I would much rather be at full strength and kind of take a minute. Sometimes it's nice if you're running into an issue. Sometimes it's nice. Take a second, step away from the board for just a moment. But this looks fucking awesome. Let's get this guy out of here. So I'm not expecting it to work plugged in immediately because I also don't have my windows like working right now. It doesn't work right now, but I can flash it. I'll flash it later, and I'll post some pictures of it later. We'll do a quick type test. The typing test, it's not going to be here. This is it. It's not going to be like super informative because these are silent switches. I'll still do one. Pros. This thing looks amazing. This thing is a little wonky putting together, but it looks super clean. I love the cutouts. I don't know how crazy I am about the 1.5 shift, but that's just a thing. The knob is cool. That it's very aesthetically pleasing top down. I would love if there's a Win keyless option. Obviously, the side is super unique. It's got heft because of this weight that I've put fingerprints on, but I will be polishing that up. Overall, solid board. Let's get into the complaints that I have. The complaints are, one that he's already addressed, is it's a little awkward putting the plate in. Two, this knob, I think we can probably do a little better on the knob. I think it's cool that it's like a joystick. I think that's fucking awesome. Got to figure out what's wrong. I don't know if this is a me problem or the Evolv problem. I will talk about it in the Discord later, because right now the spacebar is just stuck down. So got to figure that out. I don't really have any other complaints. I think this board is a very clean looking board. I really hope. This is a little goofy. Yep, the knob just fell off, flipping that upside down. And when I say I have a problem with the knob, it's because it's not tightening like it's really supposed to. That could be user error, but right off the bat, the knob has caused a couple issues. I think that it could be reworked, but I know Nathan. He's a very, very good friend. I know that he's going to not stop until this thing is perfect, and that's something that I can basically guarantee you at this point. So let me get this knob back on. Hold on. Get this knob back on so I can show it off. We'll do a very quick typing test. So 67 gram. Spacebar's a little janky. I got to fix that later. So yeah, and this is a proto. Remember, guys, this is a proto. This is not supposed to be a finished product. It's not perfect. I'm going to be talking to the person that owns this in more detail about what we're going to do with it. But all in all, I'm really impressed with the proto. XF33S, thank you. So quick typing test. It's aqua Xylence lube with 3203, 67 grams, and a carbon fiber plate. It's not going to really sound like anything. It's not supposed to really sound like anything. Spread the germs. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So here we go. Remember, spacebar is going to be a little goofy. Okay. It's a silent build. It doesn't sound much like anything. Show us the bottom one more time. There is the side profile. There's the back. Leave my Xylence and worms. I think this is. I'm not saying Xylence are not for me. Xylence are. If you want a silent switch, if you want to feel a great tactile switch all day long and not piss anybody off, Xylence are the best for that. I think Xylence, it's a super tactile switch, very, very smooth. It just doesn't sound like anything. Some people want that. Some people need that. It's either that or type on some much less desirable keyboard. So thank you to Nathan Alphaman. This was a fantastic build experience in the sense of about 90% of it. The knob's a little goofy. I've never actually built a board with a knob before, but it's a proto. I'm very excited to see where this goes from here. So the switches, the caps, the switches, I'm going to take some cool pictures of this either today or tomorrow. Apiary, how's it going? I'll give you more. I'll probably do a little written thing about like, hey, this is my experience in it, and we'll see about this space bar situation. I still don't know. I wonder if it's so simple that it's literally just the fact that I flip my space bars. That would be hilarious. And it was like, oh, the whole problem was the fact that I'm an idiot and like space bars this way. It improved it, but still not 100%. So we'll figure that out. So thank you, Mr. Nathan Alpha Man. Thank you, Space. Did I say Space? I almost said Space Germ. Spread the germs. Thank you for allowing me to build this board for you. And let's throw it to someone who is streaming right now. Let's see. You know, I so rarely get to raid Top Clack. See you next time, Disco. Thank you. I would love to stream Huey. I haven't raided Huey in forever, but I never get to raid Top Clack. So we're going to raid Top Clack. Can't wait for the revisions. Yeah, I'm excited. One thing that I love doing, one of my favorite things in the world, is building a board and then getting to build a board and then someone going, I'm going to do it better, and then sending it and building another one. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, well done. So, stream was nice. Board 2. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate all the follows. Keychron 2240 Hertz. Thank you. And Spread the Germs. Thank you for subbing for 1 month. And Don Bael, thank you for the follow, guys. We will be live Tuesday, 8 p.m. for our normal weekly show. And then this Wednesday, we will have a guest on that is soon to be announced. Next week, Osiris will be building a Matrix Noah, I believe. So that'll be a fun build. Love your glasses. Thank you. They're my specs on deck. Anyway, let's raid Top Clack. I kind of am stalling a little bit because I saw that he's on a starting soon screen. But let's go ahead and throw that raid to Top Clack Quakeums. Looks like he is going to be unboxing some care packages and getting some upcoming builds. So thank you guys again. Blue glasses on point for a germ build. You're welcome, man. Thank you guys again. And we will see you on Tuesday. Bye, Switch Tester.